Satnam. So this is going to be a video about the dragons, about the dragon activation, the dragon codes, and the dragons that are coming forward in this timeline to assist us, as everybody is assisting us, because we need assistance. This stuff is hard down here. No, a lot of us are connected with dragons, and I'm starting to think maybe all of us are connected with dragons. I think, actually. Sorry, Copper has all these burrs in his fur because I washed him and he immediately ran outside and rolled in a bunch of burrs. And I'm like addicted to pulling them out. So, so I have a dragon. Her name is Ketsa. And she has been with me for such a long time. I know. She has been with me for, I don't know, probably since I was born. And she's evolved with me. She used to be more like a massive boa constrictor. Like a huge, like when you imagine Damballa, like the primordial snake of the universe, like the rainbow snake of the Aborigines. She was like that. And like a lot of the dark stuff I was going through, a lot of the dark time, like some of my OGs have been with me, but there are some new people who are new to the channel and new to the practices and the meditation, and Copper's barking at the dragons. And I think people are surprised when they get to know me. Maybe because on here I come across like, I'll meditate and pray and stuff like that, and I love God a lot, so maybe that's why. But like, I did 12 years of opiates. I am a recovered addict. I have a crazy past. So a lot of my guardians, I'm in my awakened state now, I notice have like also evolved with me, have shifted with me. What's going on? The dragons are okay. The dragons are just here for the video. Oh gosh. 1 second. Sorry. I'm so distracted now. And there's so many dragons around me now. So, okay. When I was like in homeless shelters, living out of my car, that's when the protection of Ketsa really was obvious, was very loud. And that's pretty much like also when my awakening was beginning, when like everything went to shit and I like, you know how the tail end of an addiction can look. So like sometimes I would be in shady situations and I would notice she would be around me, she would be like wrapped around me, or she would like, even in some instances, might have attacked someone that was like not being so friendly towards me. Like, so as I have awakened, I've noticed her appearance was shifting. And for a while, like I didn't even think about her. Like when I was in rehab and I was in transitional housing and stuff, I didn't really even think about her until I got back into my spiritual practice. This white dragon started flying around me. And I realized it was Ketsa. It was still her, but she had changed because I had changed, which was so crazy. But like, so I guess because I have always been around her, I never really like asked her about herself, or like asked her about where she came from or what she was doing. It was just kind of this integrated relationship. Like she's just Ketsa, and like she would curl up on my heart chakra sometimes really small, or she would get really big, like as big as the whole sky. Probably like she's doing now, driving Copper crazy. Copper! Welcome to the fifth dimension, where etheric beings can bother your dog. Anyway, what was I even saying? That she shifted, she changed, she ascended with me. And the dragons are master shapeshifters. The morphogenetic field is the dragon realm. It is the dragon lines. The draconian morphogenome, they told me and I lost it. Some things, I hope this is comfort. One second, I got it. So the morphogenetic ability is a genome that the dragons hold. And throughout history, you'll see, like, mostly maybe in Eastern traditions more, they're known for their shape-shifting ability. I think Chinese dragons hold like a piece of every animal. They're like legs of the dog, eyes of a lobster, body of a horse, nose of a goat. I'm just making it up. But like, that encapsulates like how shifting a dragon is. The dragon is the ultimate shapeshifter, and the dragon, the iconic avatar that we see of the big lizard with wings and scales and the fire, is kind of like the totality of all of the things. But they don't really hold shape, which is why a lot of the codes that they're bringing through now are about dissolving the conceptual landscape within our consciousness so we can step into non-conceptual reality, because that's where you can shift and morph and change at a thought. So they're really shifty. There's a lot of There's a lot of legends that you'll see about across cultures, Asian, medieval, African, I think, where a dragon will shift into the form of a human and have relations with a human woman. That's pretty common, and that is how King Arthur was actually conceived, which was why he's such a legend. And something in my kitchen just fell. Hey, King Arthur, welcome to the YouTube. Anyway, so dragon genetics are within the human avatar. They're pretty diluted. You know how the genetic lottery goes. Some people get more than others, but they are spread throughout, where, you know, a lot of those couplings were consensual. It wasn't like dragon rape. It wasn't like Zeus. It was like shifting into different animals and tricking women into going to bed with them. It's like, when a dragon shifts into a human form, they're equally as beautiful as they are as a dragon. And there's just a lot of relationships and different yogic cycles that would be beyond the scope of our ability to understand. So a dragon in a man's body, and producing offspring with a human woman would produce a child that also had the shape-shifting, pranic, telepathic, auric force ability that a dragon has. And as that got kind of passed through our gene pool, it would become dispersed, and it's become kind of diluted to the point of just eczema and asthma, which is so sad. Which is so freaking sad that like it's gone from fire breathing, shape shifting majesty to I can't breathe and I itch. But we're ascending, we're getting the upgrades. Listen, if you have dragon genetics in your avatar, you feel like the chill, like the deep resonance when you see Game of Thrones, when you see Dracarys and you see like the dragon like pouring fire over things. Some people see that and they're like, meh. next, let's watch basketball. Or like, there's some of us that see that and we can't stop looking at it, and we have to like look up videos about it, and you get really hyped up. I think the first time my son saw a dragon scene from Game of Thrones, we might have rewound it like 3 or 4 times, and he just like leapt, this is Jackson, like leapt around my mom's couches and like rewound it and did it again, and then just like would bounce around the couch. It's like instant energy, like bah! Right? Like there's something about it that just speaks to you, that speaks to your body. The shape shifting thing kind of puts them in the same realm as reptilians. And I know we all have our big reptilian fear in our consciousness. And I've asked a lot if dragon and human couplings produced reptilians, or hominid couplings, not even earth human, like hominid being couplings produced reptilians. And they're being very vague. And I think that says a lot. Anyway, it's, let's not stigmatize. It's just like not every black person is going to rob you. Not every reptilian is going to steal your life force energy. Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't think it's anything to worry about if you are watching this channel. How to be diplomatic. How do I not be biased about how much I love you and how impressed I am by you guys and how our guides are so impressed by us? And like, my ego is so you have to be careful of the spiritual ego. I'm always like checking myself. We are one. No, but like sometimes you get in conversation with some people and you just be like, we are not on the same planet. We are not in the same dimension. We are not on the same frequency. I could talk till I'm blue in the face and you will never understand what I'm telling you. But that's not the attitude to have, apparently. I'm just joking. Compassion for those that can see. For compassion for those that can't see. And if they like hurt you and they're mean and say whatever, just compassion will completely neutralize all of that pain. Back to Dracarys. So the dragons having sex with ladies, producing weird stuff. Now we feel deep resonance with these beings that nobody sees anymore. But you might see them in meditation. You might see them in your sleep, in your dreams. And usually they show up to you, because they're so mutable in astral form, they'll show up to you in color, with a specific element, with a specific crystal, with a specific vibe that has to do with you. And when you do the dragon codes, when you receive the dragon codes, when you work the dragon activation, every time it might be a different dragon that you receive in your heart cave. And you should pay attention to how many heads they have. Usually they present themselves with several heads depending on how many dimensions they're living in simultaneously. So if you get a 7-headed dragon, that's a beast that's operating, because they all operate in 7D. The 7th dimension is the dragon dimension. I'm even scared of saying draconic because everybody's scared of the Dracos. Is the dimension of the dragon. The 7th dimension, they can go lower than that, they can go higher than that. That's just where they hang, that's where they populate. So 7 heads would be a dragon that is living parallel conscious lifetime simultaneously, and that the separate heads means like I am aware in each one of these dimensions that I'm in. And 2 heads is like a 2-headed, and 3 heads is like 3, and I'm in 3 dimensions at the same time, and it will produce to you with 3 heads, showing like I have awareness in these different places. The color means a lot. Like sometimes you have a natal dragon, like the blue dragons are associated with air signs, and like the white dragons are, wait, maybe it's the other way around. No, the white dragons are associated with water sign. I think that's what they told me. I have notes somewhere. Hold, I will edit this out. I will edit this out. Okay, so depending on the color that you receive of the dragon that you are seeing in your field or showing up in your actual reality or you're seeing in your dreams, like a blue dragon, they call themselves the dragons of purity. They're the dragons of healing. So they also do a lot of things. But if a blue dragon's appearing to you, then you might be a healer. You might be receiving healing. You might be receiving purification. You might be a purifier yourself. You might be one of those empath filters that's just transmuting and lifting everything about people around you. The blue dragons bring forward clairaudience. They're very associated with the ears. They're the inner ear, the inner hearing. And they're associated with the air sign, so Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sun or rising. If you're Aquarius, Gemini, rising, if you're Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, rising, you also might see a lot of blue dragons around you. A white dragon, they call themselves the dragons of knowledge or the dragons of learning. And they are working and bringing forward codes of clairvoyance. So if there's a white dragon showing up for you in your dreams, your third eye is being opened. You're being able to visually connect with the realms of the unseen. They usually are associated with the water element. So like the Scorpios, the Cancers, the Pisces, and the sun sign and the rising sign, you might get a lot of these white dragons showing up around you. My dragon is white. Quetzal is white. And I'm a Gemini, Sun, Aquarius, rising. So that I want to say that because it's not like cookie cutter. You know, it's not like I'm a Gemini, so I get this color dragon. It's always what's going on with your mission, what's going on with your soul frequency, what's going on with your monad even. Have to do with a lot of the gatekeepers and the guardians that you receive. Let's see. A red dragon showing up in your field. Red dragons are the dragons of, they're like the plasma dragons. They're like the dragons of life force. They're the dragons of vitality. The dragons of vitality. They're the dragons of vitality, and they are working with channelers. If you're speaking light language, if you're speaking, if you're drawing codes, if you're medium, if you're holding space for another consciousness to speak through you, they're very associated with the speech and the tongue. They're, of course, bringing forward the clairsentience codes too, the ones that are feeling. When clairsentients are the hardest psychics to work with, to develop, because they're so powerful and they're so integrated with their gift, and they never know that what they're doing is psychic. You know, they're so integrated in like feeling their environment and it feeding them information and them making decisions based on that information that they don't even get a break to realize that they're doing something different and special. And usually getting them to like realize that what they are doing is different and special, they're like, oh, that? I don't want that. That's nothing. I always do that, but you can develop that, and usually like it can go so far, like you're not even feeling anymore, like you're getting so much from feeling that it creates an image. So it's almost like the clairs they're all hidden in the throat chakra, so they all have a gray area. They can all transpire. There's never really somebody who's just one clair or has one clair. And as we like progress through this timeline, that will end. Somebody who just has visions is, you know, you're multidimensional. You'll open up to everything. So yes, tangent aside, the red dragon transmutes. What did they write? They transmute delusions of attachment into the wisdom of discernment. Well, what did the white dragon say about me? I don't think they said anything. Oh, the blue dragon, they specialize in transmuting anger into wisdom. I missed that part. And what else? Green dragons are very common. The green dragons are the dragons of balance, or the dragons of harmony. And they are really prominent around the mind readers, the thought transference, the mental powers, the Professor X, Jean Grey. beings. They specialize in a lot of like nonverbal communication. So like the telepaths, the telekinetics. And I think they're just connected to nature. And I hate that when you say like nature. I don't hate anything. I take that back. I dislike it when we say nature as if that's something else. Like, I'm gonna go walk in nature now. As if anything could not be nature. But they are connected with like those earthly kingdoms, like the plant kingdom, the stone kingdom, the animal kingdom. And I wrote they specialize in transmuting jealousy into wisdom. What did I write? Oh, they transmute jealousy into the wisdom of accomplishment. This is how dragons speak. So the Kriya, the dragons live in the realms of the Nagas. The Nagas are always associated with wisdom, with whispering in Shiva's ear, the snake around Shiva's neck, or, the one that ruined everything for Eve and Adam by telling them about themselves. Be very discerning about thinking about why everything in like medieval Christian culture says slay the dragon, kill the dragon, and everything in Eastern like Chinese, Asian culture says like these things teach us, they gave us language, they give us wisdom, they open us to deep, deep Akashic secrets. Right? Why maybe the Christians would want to cut that connection off of like, deep Akashic secrets? We're trying to control people here. Kill the dragons, kill them. A lot of this stuff, so they share the same realm with the Naga beings. A lot of dragons don't have wings. I think most of them don't even need wings technically to fly. Even though their avatars have big, beautiful, majestic wings, if they didn't have them, like sometimes they just don't even flap. Like they're just there, and they can blink in and out of existence like starships, and they can, I don't know, glide almost for eternity. It's like, so they have they express themselves as a way that they want to. It's like a metaphor. So you see like a lot of the Chinese dragons are just these like coiling serpents in the sky. They're flying in the sky, but they have no wings. A lot of them move like that. It's like their tail is moving them, or like their body's moving them. I don't know. I don't know. And I lost my trail of thought. What was I saying? Oh, okay. So they share their realms with the Nagas. They break open our non-conceptual wisdom. I got all of that. I think what they're coming to do now is, there's so many of us that are like part-time psychics, and it's crazy making, and we like feel evidence of our guides very, very closely, working very close to us. Like you can feel them touching you, or working on you, or healing you, or sending you a very obvious messages through the matrix field. But you just want to see them. You just want to, why can't I see them? Or why can't I clearly hear them? Or why can't I? And it's a lot of the blocks to that are within our own mind, because we live in what they call the flatlands of the conceptual mind. And all the concepts that we have to work with are what we've been shown or what we've been taught. So if you're looking at something that you cannot conceive of, when you live in the flatlands, you won't even see it. It would be like it wasn't even there. So breaking out of the realm of what you think you know takes a little assistance, and that's what the dragon activation is really about. You get to connect with your dragon, you get to know your guardian's name and any messages they have for you at that moment, and then they can kind of take you through the flatlands, break open all those blocks so that you can get to non-conceptual awareness, which is the God mind, which is like the Akashic intelligence that's all around you, and bring that back into this reality, which will allow you to start seeing things that you've never been shown before, you know? Like, what's his name? I don't know how to say his name right. I don't know how to say his name. He looks like a little Fey man. He's like, you know, Eckhart Tolle, I think his name. He had a really nice way of saying it, where like if you, I don't think he said that. I think I got in a weird conversation with him in my mind when I was watching his YouTube. And I might have said it. But like, say for instance, you were born in an apartment and you never left that apartment, right? You had never seen anything but the inside of a 2-bedroom apartment building in Hong Kong or something. And you were there for 7 years. And on your 7th birthday, somebody took you out of the apartment and took you to the forest. And you had never seen a tree before. You didn't know what it was. You would be interacting with that forest from the realm of non-conceptual in reality. Because nobody has told you what a tree is. Nobody has told you what a forest is. So your interaction with it is pure. It's pure. There's no interface. There's no distortion of somebody saying this is a this and that is a that. Because that's what we do in this reality, is somebody gives you a name and you accept it as that's what it is. When you go to the doctor with a bunch of symptoms and they say, oh, you have this. Take this because you have this. They just gave you a label. They didn't explain to you what's wrong with you. Why is it happening to you? Like how to get to the root of it. They just told you what it's called. And if that guide in the forest said, this is an oak tree, that is not telling you anything about that besides what we call it in this reality. It doesn't tell me what that is. Because you told me that's an oak tree, I still don't know what that is, you know? So if you're this 7-year-old person that's in the middle of the forest and nobody's ever shown you a forest before, your interaction would be this consciousness. You would feel it looking at you. You would feel it penetrating within you. You would feel part of it, right? You would feel its aliveness. You would feel its textures. You would be able to tap in to the way it communicates without somebody telling you like, this is how to do this. Give it water this time, blah, 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 sunlight, whatever, right? You would have a very pure interface with that thing. And that's where we need to get to kind of get to the realm where we see through the veils, where we see the unseen and we can hear the unheard because we're right there. We have the upgrades. Even DNA codes are now processing into RNA proteins, right? So there are physical changes happening to the human avatar, and I won't say the only, we have to develop the hypothalamus, we have to develop the frontal lobe. We're very, very, very degenerated in those two factors. And our guides have given a lot of codes that will help with that I will hopefully be recording soon. But so a lot of the things that are just stopping us for directly interfacing with our guides, from seeing the spaceships, from seeing the cloud dragons, from seeing the elementals, from interacting with spirit and ancestors, is our conditioned mind, our 3D limiting beliefs and programs. So definitely work with the dragon activation. Work with it often. It activates the dragon line between your heart and your crown, which is an energy line that's also in the planet that's activating now. Everybody has seen the Schumann resonance. It's like, what a time to be alive. It's so exciting. Anyway, so you bonding with your dragon will be so good for you to be fearless as we step forward through this photon belt, where we're getting more interactions with multidimensional beings, where you need to know who's talking to you and know it from your place of non-conceptual reality. So there's nothing telling you that reptilian is bad, and you see a reptilian operate in front of you and you freak out when it really might be a benevolent one, right? And you would have that instantaneous ability to discern, because I know how it feels when something is not friendly, and I know how it feels when something is. And then I don't have to look with my 2 eyes. I can look with because it's connected to my heart. Okay. that's the codes for the dragon. So also opening connection with the morphogenome. I have no idea how to say that. The thing that is like, it's like literally when they show it to me, it's like literally a mirror neuron in the DNA coding. So when a dragon shapeshifts into something, it's like they just think about it, right? They just think about, like, we have mirror neurons so we can imitate, but like their mirror neurons are like, it's very interesting. But they have given us the ability to, they have given us pretty much the sonic translation of the morphogenetic coding so that we can start really baseline shape shifting. And one of the first things they gave me was a metabolism booster, because they said our metabolisms are so crazy slow, and it's a lot of natural conditioning that's led to that, and you know, a lot of the funky stuff that we're breathing and eating, but it also is our energy blockages, our ability to like digest something and get the energy, get the chi from it and release the waste. On an emotional level, on a spiritual level, takes a very long time. A lot of the stubborn belly fat that people in female avatars experience, and male avatars too, are energy blockages. It blew my mind. They're stuck in these lower chakra loops, and that's why there's all this fat just kind of piled around the lower stomach, the fupa. So the metabolism booster is crazy. It's literally like you get so hot. They're like, you can listen to it as many times as you want, but you start to maybe get a tolerance for it, but you get so very warm. It's like everything is moving very, very, very fast. And then afterwards, it's also like this really good, like emotional release. Like I don't have to like hold on to all of that stuff, and things start, you know how it's all holistically connected. It's all very exciting. And the other code they gave me was, a virus interrupter, a virus disruptor, which is like so profound for what we're going through. They were like, this is simple. Like, this is just the beginning. We're going to get to the fun stuff. And then like a bunch of things for like changing the color of our auras at will, which is really cool, because a dragon has a interesting influence through their aura. They can make you feel really, really afraid just with their auric field. And I think a lot of the interactions people have had with them, they feel that. But that's also something they do with their thought. I lost my train of thought. Okay, back into the non-conceptual mind. So the Kriya that we're gonna do today is such a fun, funky, weird Kriya. It's a Naga Kriya. It's from the Dragonland. So it's mental, it's parapsychology, it's mental surgery. It's going in there and removing a thought form. So this is like something that you would pay thousands of dollars talking in therapy for years. We can remove now. We just remove it, because Nagas are amazing and dragons are amazing. It's a little funky, it's a little weird. It's a thinking meditation, and it's about 20 minutes. But I promise you might want to do it again. You'll never have to do it again if you don't. If you start thinking now of the scariest thing that you can think of, that the thing that you never tell anyone, the one that's so scary that you don't even talk about it. Start thinking of that like deep primary fear, and we'll get to it. Okay. Satnam. So I was beginning to teach the Iccha Naag Kriya, the dragon Kriya that we're getting into, and I was delightfully interrupted by the purple dragons, because they also would like to be represented in the different colors of dragons that might be appearing to people in meditation or in their dreams. So if you are seeing, I guess there's a lot of violet or amethyst or purple dragons that are approaching people now in astral realms. So if you are seeing a violet colored purple tone, and it could be one of those iridescent things. I see those a lot, that kind of switches from cyan to purple to cobalt to, you know, periwinkle, and little flecks of gold and things. But if you're seeing a heavily purple dragon, this is what would be technically called a chaos dragon. All dragons are fundamentally based in chaos magic. That is their potentiate. That's what makes them so mutable, so able to shift and change. Chaos doesn't mean negative. Negative doesn't even mean negative, but you know what I mean. So think of them as an ether, the element of ether, the liminal space, the in-between, the transitory. So like, if you're seeing a purple dragon showing up, you're probably leaving some limitation. You're probably stepping out of a small boundary. They are the dragons of royalty. They are the dragons of wealth, but they also are the dragons of grief, and they're also the dragons of mourning. So it's really both. It's really the death of one way of being and stepping out of a smaller container into expanded space of awareness. So the purple dragon is called upon for manifestation because of their ability to take you from one thing to another, for the transitional potential that they are. So it's just their nature. So if a dragon is showing up in that color, holding that frequency, holding that vibration in your meditation, then that is something that is probably a highlight going on with you. Okay, so I did it. Let's do Iccha Naag Kriya. I'm so excited for this Kriya because it's literally gold. It's a prosperity meditation, but it's more than that to me. It was like deep psychic surgery. It was like, I have always had this fear of, so I have some past life trauma with something happening with my neck being strangled or being beheaded, and I've always been very sensitive with my neck. Like, I have no neck in this body. Like, it's like very little neck happening. And I've seen some past life glimpses, you know, because the death is always what holds in the Akashic. So it's easy just to feel and to connect with the death of these lives and like feel the pulls. That's why every time I see something happening to somebody's neck, I feel it. I feel it very like profoundly, and very sensitive about my neck. And there's this breath in yogic practice that's called the 1 minute breath, where you inhale for 10 to 20 seconds, you hold the breath for 10 to 20 seconds, and you exhale for 10 to 20 seconds. And when I used to do this breath, especially when my eyes were closed, I would feel like, usually meditation and Kriya makes me feel so good, but if I would try to do 1 minute breath with my eyes closed, I would literally panic. I was throwing myself into like panic. I'd go outside and like pace and tell myself it was okay and everything's fine. And I hate being fearful. Like, I hate being afraid of anything. And it was like, oh, it was making me mad. I was like, why is this breath like making me afraid? Like, I feel so small and trapped when I try to like hold my breath with my eyes closed. And there is like some stuff coming up with me about running out of air, about that moment before you leave your body and you're just grasping for air and you're desperate for like a breath. That moment was holding so profoundly in my consciousness, and it was like making me freak out when I would like try to hold my breath with my eyes closed, but only specifically with the 1 minute breath. I think because it like purges something. Honestly, if you can master that breath, you can master the universe. So there's going to be a lot of the gatekeepers that show up as you like play with it. But so I did, when I was doing this Kriya that we're about to do, I started using it with intent, and I started like thinking about the stuff, the deep stuff, the scary stuff, the stuff that like gives me knee-jerk reactions, like not having enough air, or being choked to death, or like drowning and not have, just like desperate for air. So I started thinking about that feeling, and it purifies it. It removes it. It literally can remove your deepest fear, the thing that like you could be bumping up against walls for lifetimes about, like, because obviously this is carried through lifetimes for me. Like, this can remove it now. So this is how like crazy cool this Kriya is. And I think people use it as a prosperity meditation, because if you eliminate the negative thought from your mind, then you eliminate it from your reality. Right? And if you're not thinking these terrible things like I'll never have enough air, or somebody's going to cut my head off, right? Even if it's holding in your like Akashic memory, it's creating boundaries in your reality. So when people start collapsing those things, prosperity comes to them. So they equate this with the Iccha Naga, the wish fulfilling snake, the cobra. The Iccha Naga is always a cobra. So I just wanted to say that, because there's a great opportunity with using this Kriya, and you can use it over and over and over and over and over again, right? Just to really go deep. You don't have to tell anybody. It can just be you, and be like, okay, now I can get rid of that thing that like haunts me in the night and I don't tell anybody about, because I'm not allowed to be afraid of it, Now's the time to get rid of all of the boogeymen. So just hold them in your awareness, so you can pull them up when we're in the Kriya. All right, so let's tune in together. Rub your hands together. If you're new to Kundalini Yoga, we tune in with Om Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times, and then Ad Guru Name, Jugat Guru Name, Sat Guru Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name 3 times for protection, and I will write it somewhere on the screen. Okay, inhale deep. Put your thumb joints in your sternum, right in the center of your heart chakra. And inhale. Pull your root lock up. Exhale. And inhale deep one more time. Pull up the rectum and the sex organs as if you're stopping urination. Roll your eyes up and in. Look at the brow point, and let the tip of the tongue touch the roof of the mouth. Hold the breath here. Good. Exhale. And inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Press your palms together and call your dragons in. Send out a mental vibration for your dragon guardian to step forward. Put you in a circle of protection. Good. Exhale. And inhale to chant the protection mantra. Gure Name, Jugat Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Sri Guru Deva Vehi Name. Gure Name, Jugat Gure Name, Sat Gure Sri Guru Deva Vehi Sat Gurai Namai Sri Guru Deva Vehi Namai. Inhale. Press the palms, pull the root lock up, roll the eyes up, tip of the tongue floats up, and hold the breath. Exhale. Okie dokie. So I'm filming this, I'm recording this on my phone because it's just easier to edit that way. And so I don't have my timer that I'm used to. I have this big one down here. If I'm looking, this is a meditation that I have to just teach and lead. I can't do this meditation while teaching it. No way, Jose. Maybe. I won't say I can't. I maybe could, perhaps. So I will just be leading it. If you look up at me and I'm like looking at the timer, just close your eyes back, go back into meditation. You shouldn't be looking at me. Don't look at me. You should be concentrating because this is such a magic moment. Okay, so come into easy pose. You sit in meditative pose with your legs crossed, spine straight. Or if you can't do the crisscross applesauce, then you can just sit in a chair with your back straight. The spine straight is the most important thing. Feet flat on the floor. Don't do like crisscross legs or one foot up. It's really important to have both energy centers flat on the floor if you are choosing to sit that way. So close your eyes and sit in tranquility. Start breathing in and out through your nose. And sit in the energy of grace. Sit in the energy of tranquility. And in your lap, you're going to have your hands facing down. The left hand down first and the right hand on top of the left. Just resting easily in your lap. Left hand down first, the right hand on top, both palms facing down. Eyes are completely closed. You're breathing in and out through the nose. So now I want you to start thinking. Just start thinking. The thing that you're not supposed to do in meditation, this is what you're going to do now. This is what we do best. We think. So just think. Let yourself think. And to whatever you're thinking, add, what am I thinking? So to whatever you're actively thinking about, start thinking about what you're thinking about. This is a simple and very old method of cross-reference thinking. The idea is to realize that you are thinking, not to be lost in the act of thought, to realize that you are doing an action called thinking. Oh, I am thinking. What am I thinking? I'm thinking something. What is that something? And then keep going. See where it takes you. As long as your right hand is over your left, it will work. Keep thinking. Don't worry. Don't stop. Just keep pursuing the thought. Don't judge the thought. Don't judge if it's a shallow thought or a noble thought. Just follow the thought. Think about the thinking. keep pursuing that thought. One thought will release into another thought, and then that thought will release into another thought. And see if you can stop it somewhere. Now with same posture, same eyes closed, same active thinking, same left hand down, right hand on top. Start to flick your tongue like a snake. In and out, quick, like a snake. Imagine a snake, how it's moving about in its environment. And once in a while, it flicks out its tongue, receives information, and pulls it back in. Make it repetitive, make it rhythmic or not, make it random. But just flick your tongue in and out and keep thinking. Your tongue has nothing to do with you. The snake breathes and cools himself through the tongue. Similarly, your tongue will move. It's just not split, that's all. Keep thinking, pursue each thought. And once in a while, at your pleasure, flick your tongue out like a snake. The tongue must leave your lips. It must show up in the air. Don't pull it all the way out. Just extend it a little. And keep actively thinking. There's a snake. It's called Iccha Naag. And it's always a cobra. Iccha Naag is a snake that it only has to wish to have things magnetically come to him. This is called the Iccha Kriya. And you will magnetically get what you want. Keep thinking and keep flicking your tongue. Your Shushmana, your central nerve, is the center of your tongue. When you pull on it by moving your tongue in and out like this, your thoughts must come to a purification under your commanding will. You'll notice as you're thinking, while you're flicking your tongue in and out, the thoughts are detoxing, they're purifying, they're coming to a higher elevation. I'm going to play a song. Keep your eyes closed. Keep thinking and keep flicking the tongue. Keep actively thinking. Let the song slip in subconsciously. flicking the tongue. Keep thinking. In and out. We're approaching a threshold now in your consciousness. Keep your eyes closed. Keep thinking and keep flicking your tongue. Now at this part, okay, you're crossed through this part of your meditation. I want you to consciously think about your first fear, your most primal fear. It's very important to keep your eyes closed while you do this and concentrate on your primal fear. This is between you and you. This is between you and your soul. No one else will know it. It's very, very important for you to keep your eyes closed while you're thinking about your fear. Under no circumstances should you open your eyes. And you could kind of create it at this point of where you're at in your consciousness through the meditation. So keep flicking your tongue and keep subconsciously listening to the song. And think about your deepest fear. Keep flicking the tongue to purify the primal fear. The God of gods, the infinite one, under and over. God is love, all creation. La Lakshmi Now inhale, hold the breath in, and start moving your body in circles. Move your body all around in circles like convulsions. And hold the breath in, keep moving. And exhale. And inhale deep. Move all parts of the body very powerfully. You want this prana to reach every part from the tip of the toe to the heel of the foot to the top of the head. Move every part of the body very powerfully. You can stand up and do it. Move the pranas. Good. Exhale. And last time, inhale very deeply. This time, don't spare any part. Hold the breath and move everything powerfully, strongly, tightly. Holding the breath of life inside you. All of the organs need the benefits of this Kriya. You have to go through it for your own health and happiness. Just 20 seconds. Actually, 7. Keep moving. And exhale and just relax for a few minutes. So, good. We're not done yet. Right now, everything has come to a consolidated 0 point through the Kriya that you just did. Energetically speaking, with removing the fear. So now it has to be moved. Like the shunya, the mahashunya has to be vibrated for the manifestation. So, just a few more seconds of being still, and then we're going to move again. Okay. Now we're going to move the ribs, the arms, and the shoulders are the most important things to move right now. Your rib cage, your arms and your shoulders. You can dance if you want to, but you really have to move the ribs and the shoulders and the arms. The arms, so shake out the arms, move the shoulders, move the ribs. Those are the most important parts. For 3 minutes, keep moving. Don't stop moving the shoulders. Don't stop moving your ribs. Don't stop moving. Like a snake, like a dragon if you want to. Make sure you're moving those 3 parts. Don't worry, just relax and let it go. Dancing is part of the new world. It's part of something your avatar needs, so don't be embarrassed. Move the body. The shoulders, especially the shoulders. Get the energy out of the arms. Move the rib cage. Move every rib. Stretch and stretch the armpit. Stretch all of it. Keep moving. 2 more, a minute and 30 seconds. Get into it, have fun. You just released your biggest fear of your life. You should celebrate. Good, the Shushmana has to move. The vagus nerve has to move. I can feel some of you not moving. Moving. Where'd my timer go? 30 more seconds. Keep moving. Okay, and relax, and you're done. And that would be like 15 years of therapy. We just did it just now. It's so exciting. I know you feel amazing. When we were going through the primal fear, like, let me tell you how quantum time is. I know I'm recording this and I'm not even connected to half of the people that watch these videos. Like, we don't talk or whatever. But I can feel the releases. Like, I could feel the heaviness of the fears. I had to start, like, doing Reiki to kind of break up some of the density. Like, you went very deep. You went very deep and you broke up something that's been like calcified and nasty and like festering inside of your consciousness. So this is such a beautiful way to, I mean, we're about to go into solstice. This is a beautiful energy field to walk into solstice tomorrow with. But even if you receive this and work this after solstice, like these teachings, these like methodologies and these formulas, they are from very ancient, wise elders that were in communication with celestial beings, that they channeled these practices. The Nagas gave them these practices. So this is like this is the magic of you. This is the magic of the human avatar that's been hidden from you. So if some of the things make you uncomfortable, like the dancing and the moving and the sticking your tongue out, that's okay. You've been hidden from yourself, so you don't even know what makes you happy. You know what I mean? You don't even know what makes your body release. Keep coming back to it. Use it for every tiny little thing or every huge, massive thing. No matter what's going on with you, this technique will guarantee, there's no if, will remove a fear from your life, and then you get to see how you can move forward without that thing, that cancer growing inside of you. So wonderful. So like if you guys are diving into the codes, you're diving into the light language, you're diving further and further into the astral realms, I'm already getting the craziest responses from people about this activation. Like, people are showing me channeled images they're getting of their dragons, like that they're drawing of their dragons, a mantra that a dragon gave them, answer from a relative that just passed. Somebody received a very spontaneous healing from their dragon in the codes. So it's magnificent. Work with the codes, work with all of the things that the dragons are releasing. Because, like, why wouldn't you want to do yourself that kind of favor? Then give yourself that kind of advantage. And if you do want to work deeper with connecting with your dragon guide or any of your etheric guides, then you can always do sessions with me. I think some people like tentatively ask me that in emails and stuff, like, do you do sessions? Because I don't really talk about it. I mean, maybe I should more, but yeah, I totally do sessions with people. I do a lot of intuitive development, and I do a lot of psychic development. I do a lot of what I call starseed support for you just figuring out how you work in a world where you are an anomaly, you know, and so just getting all your psychic senses and all your like multidimensional mindsets together. And if there's anything you ever like want to ask me, feel free to email me. Feel free to book a session if you want to connect deeper with your guides. See who's talking to you, who's working with you, who needs you to do what, who has what for you. All sorts of things come through with these sessions. We're always evolving and expanding, and I'm also beginning to offer the celestial Reiki sessions. And I've been teaching, I've been attuning a lot of healers, which is so exciting. Just releasing masses of healers to the world, because it's like, you know, in some Andromedan homes, which blew my mind, there's like 2 healers in every house. Like, every house has a healer. You know, not everybody's into healing, but every house has somebody who can like help you. You don't have to go to the hospital. It's like, go get grandma or something. Or that's not just Andromeda. That's like throughout the multiverse. The self-healing is something that's been like hidden from us. So anyway, I've been getting called to start offering the services, because some people like will write me about clearings that they need for their home or their loved ones or themselves, and it's just becoming so pronounced. It's obvious that there's a call for this again, and so full Reiki services are available again, whether it's clearing out negative beings, clearing out possessions or attachments or entities or implants that are affecting you negatively. Psychic surgeries, the recovery from severe trauma, and if it's very physical stuff. I'm really, I love all sorts of healing. Like, Zo means life-giving. Like, Reiki is me. Like, I love to give life, you know, and I'm very good at it. I can say that pretty groundedly. I'm very good at it. But I love healing the physical anomalies. Oh my God, a butterfly just flew to, whoa. Hi. Like, I love the physical healing. I love the negative beings and stuff like that, but that sometimes can get very, very like deep and endless, and we end up having to do like full Akashic timeline clearings, whatever. But I love like when people are like, I have cancer. Or like, I have leukemia, or like, I have like this crazy knee, or I have this thing, this bump inside me, and doctors don't know what it is, you know, and like all of this stuff that like the Western medicine keeps failing you with. If there's anything that you're like just living with suffering through, just start expanding to the potentials of chi, and how chi is the particle that makes up everything that you see, so it can literally fix anything. And that is my spiel, and I'm so excited for you. I don't know, I get excited when like densities are gone. I get a little bit hyper. Let's do 3 long satnams, and then I'll let you go about your merry way. So bring your palms to prayer. Inhale deep. Sa Satnam, deepest bow to you. I'll see everybody tomorrow for solstice. Here comes Satnam puppy. Every time I say Satnam, he comes. Every time I do long Satnams. I love y'all.